Lucky. Alright, finally we are up and running. Finally. Here we go. Alright, what's up guys? Hope you're having a good day. After some tech problems getting set up, we're finally up and running. So good to see you all. In this live stream, we are going to be researching the fight between Jan Blachowicz and Glover Teixeira. Obviously, the main event of this weekend, UFC 267. So to let you guys know that are watching this video after the fact on YouTube, this is a live stream, so this is not like a breakdown video. I'm going to be learning about this fight at the same time as you guys as we work our way through these matchups. Just want to let you guys know, because sometimes people watch this video after the fact on my channel and they kind of ask why there's no timestamps and why there's no structure to this video. The reason is this is like an interactive session where we're all going to research the fight together. So in this live stream, we are going to be focusing on the fight between Jan Blachowicz, and Blachowicz is obviously one big favourite on a card full of many big favourites. Very tough card for betting this. If we look at the card, I think there's 15 fights on Saturday, and out of those 15 fights, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 big favourites out of the 15 fighters competing on this card. Blachowicz is one of them, which can make this quite tough, or quite a tough card for betting. You know, really, it's very difficult to find value on obviously big favourites in MMA. So strategy I would use usually on a card like this is to try and scout for good value underdogs that, you know, have a reasonably good chance of winning, and, you know, sprinkle a little bit of money on a few of them with the hope that, you know, enough win to earn a profit for you. So we've got a couple of underdog bets on this card already. Gotta be honest, I would be really surprised if I bet Blachowicz at these odds, only because we know that Blachowicz's biggest weakness is on the ground. You know, he's not that easy to take down, but if you do take him down, anytime we've seen Blachowicz on the ground in his career, he has looked very low level. The gust of some fight, you know, probably the best indicator of that. Didn't look great on the ground against Patrick Cummins either. But of course, those fights were a really long time ago, so maybe Blachowicz has improved a lot since then. It's tough to say. We haven't really seen him fight a really high level grappler since. We look at the guys he's been facing. Jacare didn't really try to take him down. Rockhold couldn't get him down either. And aside from that, he's fought, you know, mostly strikers, aside from Corey Hansen, who obviously death started very early. So yeah, Blachowicz at these odds, I mean, very big favourite. The risk to reward ratio is not going to be great there. If we take a look at his odds, we put the odds in, so 1.33 minus 303 for an implied probability of 75%. And, you know, it's very difficult to find value on a fighter in that odds range anyway, especially when they've got big weaknesses like we know Jan does. If we take a look at the odds on Glover, he's currently around an average of, call it 3.40 there, say around 3.35, which is plus 235 for an implied probability of 30%. So, you know, maybe Glover will be worth, maybe Glover will be worth a gamble here for big underdog odds, but tough to find value in Jan's odds. But you never know, man. Maybe we'll come to the conclusion that Glover's got no chance here. You never know. I don't think it's going to go down like that. I think that's what we will find in this research, but you never know. So Blachowicz is 38 years old, 6'2" with a 78-inch reach, and Glover's 41 years old, 6'2" with a 76-inch reach. So both guys virtually the same size. And not that big a difference in age either. 3-year difference in age. Obviously Glover's been fighting a lot of guys who are much younger than him, apart from obviously Thiago Santos, but before that, a lot of younger guys. And so is Blachowicz, aside from Jacare. So if we take a look at where these guys are training, I think that Blachowicz trains in Poland with Marcin Tybura. I'm not sure, Ankos team, something like that. Yeah, something like Ankos team. There he is with Marcin Tybura. Gym's called Ankos something, I think. But anyway, you can see he's getting a lot of training in with Marcin Tybura, who's also fighting on this card against Volkov. And then if we take a look at where Glover's training, I think Glover kind of moves around a few different gyms in Brazil to train with a few different guys. There's a video with him with Lyoto Machida, but I know he moves around a few places. Like I've seen him at Jason Perillo's gym. I've seen him at Team Black House. So he does move around a fair bit. There he is with Chuck. Oh, they're actually, that guy's actually wearing a Black House t-shirt, so maybe he's a Black House there. But yeah, like I say, he does tend to move around a fair bit. There he is with Machida and Rodolfo Vieira. Alright, cool. So let's get into some fight footage. So I hope everyone's doing good today. And fingers crossed we'll be able to dig up a bet on this one. So which fight should we start off by taking a look at? So I think maybe the best thing to do is rather than take a look at Jan's recent fights, I really think that this is going to be one of those matchups where if the fight stays standing, Glover's going to be in a lot of trouble. If the fight goes to the ground, Jan's going to be in a lot of trouble. But obviously, because fights start standing, Glover's got to get the fight to the ground before he can put Jan in any trouble. So I think the best thing we could probably do before we even start this is look into Jan's takedown defense and ground game. So if we go into UFC stats, I was looking into Dan Hooker earlier on, obviously researching his fight against Islam Makhachev this weekend. But if we take a look at Blachowicz, what I'm going to be looking at is how many of his past opponents have tried to take him down. I'm guessing Izzy didn't attempt any. Yeah, 0 takedown attempts there. Guessing Reyes probably didn't try and take him down either. Yeah, 0 takedowns there. Corey might not have had enough. No, Corey didn't shoot any takedowns either. Okay. Jacare, I don't think Jacare did either. He attempted 5. You know, I'm not, how do I put this? I don't really want to watch the Jacare fight, because even though it does say Jacare went 0 for 5, like we've watched this fight so many times when researching other matchups, and we know, even though it does say Jacare attempted 5 takedowns there, he didn't really fully commit to any of those takedowns. He shot in way too high up above Jan's hips, and it was very easy to deal with the threat of Jacare's grappling in that fight. He just didn't fully commit to it. This one I'm much more interested in, because I know Rockhold was committing really hard to his takedowns. He attempted 5 takedowns, and Rockhold, tried very, very hard to get this fight to the ground and was unsuccessful. So I'd like to start with this fight, and then when we get a look at Blachowicz's defensive wrestling, his takedown defense, I think when we go and watch Glover, it'll help us start to piece this fight together a lot sooner, because of course we saw Glover use a lot of grappling in his fights against Santos, Smith, Krylov and Kutalaba, and to be fair, Carl Roberson. He's used a lot of grappling in his last 5 fights. So that'll be the plan for this one. So we'll start off by taking a look at this Rockhold fight. So the way this works, if you haven't watched one of these before, is I will drop the links for these fights into the live chat, and then we'll sync them up, and then we'll watch these fights together. So sync this one up for me, guys. Let's get it going. Sync it up. Where are we? Sync it up. Here is the link in Twitch. Here's the link in YouTube. What's up, Hilts? What's up, Dark Sheep? What's up, Stublord? Good to see you, boys. Good to see you, boys. Alright, let's get the ESPN Plus link for you guys as well. Here we go. Sync this one up. And I'll grab the countdown clock as well. There we go. I need that link as well. So from memory, Rockhold did briefly get Jan down, but I think he scrambled back up to his feet very quickly. Thing is, Rockhold is an elite grappler. Like, people have turned Rockhold into a bit of a meme. Wasn't that long ago people were talking about Rockhold as being potentially the greatest fighter of all time. shit can change quickly in MMA. So Rockhold, an elite grappler, and we'll be very interested to see how Blachowicz deals with the threat of Rockhold's grappling here. It always makes me laugh how people make fun of Rockhold, and it really was not that long ago when people had him in the GOAT discussion. People calling him the greatest of all time when he was a middleweight champ and he was on that run, destroying everybody. Alright, let's get it going. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Bottom coach said he likes the under 2.5 rounds here. I think it's likely Jan KO's Glover early or Glover catches sub randomly. Is this something we can look into? Yeah, I agree with you, man. I was actually in the shower just before starting the stream, and I was thinking about the under as well. I haven't seen the odds yet. Yeah, I'm not too sure about under 2.5 rounds, because in 5-round title fights, a lot of the time guys start slow, and Jan and Glover are both tough as nails, but fight doesn't go to a decision. That one's interesting to me. That one is quite interesting to me. So yeah, we'll take a look into that one for sure. Hey, what's up, Taz? Good to see you, mate. What's up, dude? What's up, mate? What's up? What's up? So, where are we? Alright, let's get this set up. Alright. Alright, let's get this next one going. Sync it up. Get it going. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, boys. Let's go. So very interested to see how Blachowicz deals with Rockhold's takedown defense, because I obviously bet Rockhold in this fight, because before this fight, Blachowicz's takedown defense and ground game had looked awful. So this seemed like it was going to be a very, very easy fight for Luke. But I remember when we were watching this live, how much better Blachowicz's takedown defense has improved. Like, look at that beautiful deep double leg entry there from Rockhold, and straight away he's trying to hit that outside trip on the left side. Right, this is an issue. This is a big issue for Glover, man. This is a big issue for Glover, because when Glover shoots takedowns, he's very stiff, he's very rigid, and he shoots in very high up above his opponent's hips. Here we're seeing Rockhold get in on deep body locks, deep double leg takedowns. He's tying up the legs of Jan. He's trying to upset Jan's balance, and he can't get anywhere near it. I promise you this. People love to make fun of Rockhold. They love to make him out to be a meme. Glover's offensive wrestling isn't going to look like this. What Rockhold is showing me now is very, very good offensive wrestling. Look at this chain wrestling off this body lock. Going to inside trips, outside trips. And every single time Rockhold gets Blachowicz to the ground, he's immediately posting and scrambling back up to his feet. So this is a problem for Glover, because Glover's not going to bring this kind of chain wrestling. I mean, look at that. The way Rockhold drops down to get in deep on the legs of Jan. Jan's doing a really, really good job of keeping underhooks in play at all times. Look at this from Jan. I'm very impressed with Jan here, man. His balance is good. He's always fighting for those underhooks, which is making it really, really difficult for Rockhold to get in deep on his legs. And Rockhold is going hard for these takedowns. Rockhold is committing very, very hard to these takedowns. I'm super impressed by Jan here. Like, I've been really critical of Jan's grappling over the years, but this fight showed a turning point in Jan's ability to grapple. His defensive wrestling looks phenomenal here. You're not going to see Glover shoot really deep double leg takedowns like we're seeing from Rockhold. We'll see it when we go watch his fights shortly, but Glover comes in very high up above his opponent's hips. He's quite stiff, he's quite slow, he's quite rigid. You're not going to see the level of offensive wrestling from Glover that we're seeing from Rockhold here. And so I'm impressed by Jan. Very impressed. He's doing a great job of using that cage as a base, but he's also his use of underhooks, just making it very, very difficult for Rockhold to upset his balance. Now they're back out in kickboxing range, and you can see Rockhold looking quite tired, quite flat. because he's just thrown his best offensive wrestling at Jan. He hasn't achieved anything with it. He's committed tons of energy to getting the fight to the ground, and Jan has dealt with everything that he's thrown at him. So now he's starting to look a little flat, starting to look a little tired. Whereas Blachowicz seems absolutely fine. Because of course that's been another issue throughout Blachowicz's career. His gas tank hasn't been good. You know what I mean? Blachowicz has had a tendency to slow down as fights went on, but Blachowicz, man, these days, gas tank looks great. And we're just seeing Blachowicz play the role of Matador, waiting for Rockhold to come to him, and then he's just picking him off. Chipping away at that lead leg with the leg kicks and loading up on that right hand. We're seeing Jan do great work beating up that lead leg of Rockhold, so it will be interesting to see how susceptible Glover is to the leg kicks. Very nice head kicks from the southpaw stance from Rockhold, though. Great fluidity with those kicks. He's gone back to orthodox now. Hey, what's up, Shocks, mate? What's up, Frozen? What's up, Taz? Alright, guys. Let's go into round 2. Let's go into round 2. So round 2 starts at 8 minutes and 3 seconds. Sync it up, guys. 8 minutes and 3 seconds. So this is 8 minutes and 3 seconds. Oh my god. Someone, Bopham coach, I think is Joey McBride, is saying that Mike Perry signed with BKFC. Oh my god. Holy shit. I mean, it's fucking destiny, right? This feels like destiny. God damn. This does feel like destiny, man. Jesus. To say who he's fighting first. This feels like destiny. And I think he'd be bloody good at it as well. Tough as nails. Big power. Amazing chin. Seems like destiny, man. Hugo Boss is saying Glover's got old man strength. Maybe he can take Jan down at will. A lot stronger than Rockhold. Not so sure, man. I do feel Rockhold is criminally underrated. I do feel Rockhold is criminally underrated. As a grappler, elite. Like I say, it wasn't that long ago people were talking about Rockhold as being the GOAT. You know what I mean? And now he's a joke. People don't take him seriously. But the thing is, his offensive wrestling here against Jan looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? It looks really, really good. I know he fought at middleweight, and now he's fighting at light heavyweight against Jan. But his takedown entries, he's still getting in very deep on the legs and hips of Jan. He's still unable to upset his balance. You know, it'll be very interesting now to go watch footage on Glover and like compare the two. You know, and compare the two. See what Glover's offensive wrestling looks like. What's up, Donatus, mate? Donatus, how you doing, Donatus, mate? Donatus is saying Rockhold might be a meme now, but he's one of the most skilled fighters ever in the UFC too. Well said, mate. Rockhold gets no respect. No one puts respect on Rockhold's name, man. He was so fucking good. When he was middleweight champ, he was so fucking good, man. And Donatus is saying that if Glover can win, it's definitely later in the fight for sure. Yeah, it's guess it's just going to be a question if I guess Glover can survive to the later part of the fight. And Tom Tomod is bringing up a really good point as well. He said that people talked about how Tony Ferguson was going to beat Khabib for a long time, and now, you know, obviously people are really disrespectful to Tony's legacy as well, right? Saying he shot, all that kind of stuff. MMA fans are brutal, man. They pick you up, they drop you like a stone. It is brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. It is brutal. So, anyway, let's get into round 2, which I know doesn't last very long. Let's get round 2 going. Sync it up. Get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, what's up, Ghoul, mate? Hope I catch you before that 3% runs out, dude. Hope you're doing okay, mate. Hope you're doing good, man. Ghoul, I did think of you on Sunday, mate. I went to see the new James Bond movie, and I was really, I felt really bad for all the people working in the cinema, mate, because I thought, shit, somewhere right now, Ghoul's probably having to do this as well. You know what I mean? Looks like a tough job, man. It was so busy in there, dude. It was so busy. Staff were rushed off their feet. So I did think of you on Sunday, dude. All right, round 2. Are we gonna get any more offensive wrestling from Rockhold? He did try and jump in on a single leg there, but Blachowicz read him and was able to back up and get his back tight to the cage before Rockhold grabbed a hold of him. So Rockhold in on the body lock now. But again, Jan's always got them underhooks. That underhook on the right side. And this time, Rockhold kind of accepts that he's not going to be able to take Jan down. He's kind of given up on it. He doesn't have anything here now. Jan now double underhooks, and you can see Rockhold has nothing in this position. There's no more physicality to his grappling. He's been worn down too much. He's burnt through too much energy trying to get the fight to the ground in round 1. What I will say about Jan though is he might be one of these guys that needs to use the. Oh my God! I forgot how savage that KO was. Jesus. I forgot how savage that KO was. Oh my God. Fuck me. Oh my God, that caught me by surprise. I completely forgot how savage that KO was. That was a bad one. Fucking hell. Yo, when you see stuff like that, it's kind of mad. Because Glover gets dinged a lot, right? Glover's striking defense at this stage in his career is not exactly great. He's a little bit slow to react to what his opponent's doing. He's pretty easy to hit. And so, yeah, fuck me. If Jan catches Glover like that, Jesus Christ. Look at this replay. Okay, they're showing the head kick at the end of round 1. I need to see this again. That was unbelievable. I completely forgot how savage this KO was. Oh my God. If Jan punched me in the head like that, I would fucking die. My head would explode. How is Rockhold still alive? What a beast. What an absolute beast. That is fucking mad. Alright, okay. So yeah, I like a lot about what we just saw from Jan there. I like a lot about what we saw from Jan. I do like a lot about that. I do like a lot about what we just saw from Jan. So what we should probably go and do now is take a look at Glover Teixeira's offensive wrestling. Now I don't think these fights are going to tell us too much because Smith and Santos both have absolutely awful takedown defense. But we'll take a look. We'll take a look at how Glover's looked most recently against Thiago Santos. So sync this up for me. Nice one, Sean. I'll save it for later, dude. Nice one, mate. Oh, it's only 20 seconds. I can't watch it on YouTube because the copyright algorithm. So I'll watch it later on, man. Nice one, dude. Alright, here's the next fight. We'll do Glover versus Santos. Like I say, we might have to cherry pick some fights in this session, boys, because I'm not sure how much value we're going to get from watching Anthony Smith flop to his back and get pounded on for like 5 rounds. We might have a lot more value in this session, like cherry picking fights to watch, which are going to kind of show us what we need to see. You know what I mean? What we need to see. So probably cherry pick fights to watch. Some good fights to watch, I think. We've obviously just watched the Rockhold one. The Krylov fight could be a good one to watch. I know there was some grappling in that. Devin Clark one might be a good one to watch because Devin Clark's a really good offensive wrestler. Then we've got Gustafsson and Cummins. The only problem is I know these fights were a long time ago, but the Izzy fight, the Reyes fight, the Corey fight, the Jacare fight, I don't think they're really going to tell us much about his takedown defense. And as for Jan, I mean, I do want to watch the Santos fight because it's going to give us the closest look at what to expect from Glover this weekend. Obviously, Glover's age, 41 years old, you'd be expecting him decline a lot from fight to fight. So it's important to watch his last matchup. It's also important to watch Jan's last matchup against Izzy to see like the most recent version of both guys. But then I think we'll cherry pick some of the fights to kind of answer the questions we got about how both these guys match up. Otherwise, we'll be here all night with both these guys fighting to a lot of decisions, or at least going deep into matchups. 5th round, 3rd round, split decision. You get what I'm saying, boys. You get what I'm saying. So let's sync up this next one. And what I would also say is, I was kind of starting to say this before the knockout. The knockout kind of distracted me. But what I was saying is, we know that one of Glover's best positions is in the clinch. He loves to dirty box in that position. So even if Glover isn't able to get the takedown, but he's able to kind of grab a hold of Jan and put him in the clinch. If Jan is one of these guys, like David alluded to, that might need the cage in order to defend takedowns, then, you know, maybe like we saw in the Jacare fight, Jan's going to be quite happy to just fight in the clinch with Glover, and that would enable Glover to kind of hold him there and work his dirty boxing and rack up a lot of points. Because if you guys remember the Blachowicz and Jacare fight, it literally took place in the clinch, like 25 whole minutes in the clinch. Neither guy really did anything apart from chip away at each other in the clinch. So, you know, if Jan kind of needs to use the cage to defend takedowns, and he feels comfortable being able to keep a fight standing from that position, maybe we see a lot of clinch work in this fight, which would be you'd think would favor Glover, you'd think. But anyway, let's get this next fight going. This is going to be Thiago Santos Glover. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, let's go. Let's get it going. Let's go, guys. Let's go. So Thiago Santos, southpaw here. We know Blachowicz is southpaw as well. So really what I'm looking at is Glover's striking defense. How sharp does he look? How good is he defensively? Because we know Thiago Santos extremely dangerous standing as well. One thing about Glover though, he's a tough fucker, right? See, look at the difference, man. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. It's fucking hard for me, man. Look at the difference. Look at the difference between when Rockhold shoots in and when Glover shoots in. When Rockhold shoots in, loads of drive on that takedown entry, deep in on the hips of Glover. When Glover's shooting in, very stiff, very slow, very rigid. And when he doesn't get the takedown, he looked like he was going to be knocked out every time Thiago Santos landed a punch. That's a problem for me with the power that Blachowicz was able to land on Rockhold. You know what I mean? He sent Rockhold to the Shadow Realm because Rockhold just didn't see the shot coming, right? That fucking left hand landed like a nuclear bomb. The problem with Glover is you can see that when Thiago Santos is kind of opening up, not too sure what you mean by that, Matern. Just wait till Glover gets... Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, true. Yeah, what Matern is saying is, like, even though Glover gets rocked and wobbled a lot, when he does get rocked and wobbled a lot, he can't, you know, it's very difficult to put him away, right? And then he's so comfortable or so used to getting hurt badly in fights, and he's always able to kind of weather the storm and survive, and then drag his opponents into deep waters and get it done. What concerns me about this fight is that when you look at the guys that strategy's worked against, Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith, Nikita Krylov, Ion Cutelaba, and Carl Roberson, right? So all 5 of those guys had Glover in a lot of trouble standing, all 5 of them. but then Glover was able to drag him to the ground because they either adrenaline dumped, slipped on a banana skin and fell on the ground, got baited into grappling with Glover, or gave up a cheap takedown. My concern with Jan is that if he does ding Glover really bad standing, he's going to have a lot more experience than those guys, and it's a lot less likely that he makes one of those mistakes. Glover hasn't beaten anyone with grappling that wasn't easy to take down, is the point I'm trying to make. You know what I mean? All 5 of these guys have really bad takedown defense. You know? And if you look at his last 3 losses, what do they all have in common? You look at his last 3 losses: Anthony Johnson, Alexander Gustafsson, Corey Anderson. What do all those 3 guys have in common? Corey Anderson, super strong wrestler. Alexander Gustafsson, virtually impossible to take down. Gustafsson's got some of the best takedown defense I've ever seen in my life. He's unreal. And again, Anthony Johnson, virtually impossible to take down at light heavyweight. So that's a little bit of a concern. That's a little bit of a concern. You know, a little bit of a trend. When he faces guys that are difficult to take down, it seems like he might struggle a little bit, you know? And of course, this fight isn't telling us too much about Glover because Thiago Santos is so weak off his back. He's not making any attempt to get back up to his feet here, which is kind of tricky. Bopham coach is saying, I'm not huge on prop bets, but Jan by knockout or TKO at plus 110 looks solid to me. I think he wins by knockout over 50% of the time here. Basically gives him 5 rounds to land and stop Glover. Yeah, definitely see where you're coming from then, mate. What are the odds on that? Blachowicz by knockout or TKO. Yeah, you know, I don't love the odds. You probably knew I was already going to say that. Not a fan of betting props at steep odds, but with how dangerous Jan has looked standing against younger guys like Izzy and Dominic Reyes, it's kind of hard to see Glover surviving in kickboxing range against Jan for too long, especially with the power that he can land those kicks with. Right, we haven't seen it yet. We're gonna watch some footage like the Izzy and Reyes fights coming up, but the power in which he delivers those kicks, like the way he hammers the body, hammers the arms and gloves, you think, you know what I mean, he punished the hands and arms of Izzy and Dominic Reyes, but they were a lot younger. They could see the shots coming. Do you know what I mean? They were able to get out of the way. Glover might not be able to get out of the way. He might be taking those kicks to the head. You know what I mean? It is tricky, man. It is tricky. Bartek Klepka is bringing up a really good point as well. He's saying that the fight against Thiago Santos was in a small cage, but this weekend at the Etihad Arena, it's going to be in a big cage. That's a really good point, dude. It is a good point. Roster Floss is saying Jan's going to be ready to spam uppercuts. I wish Jiri would take another fight before the end of the year. Yeah, I wonder if he will. Hopefully he will, man. The mad thing about Jiri is he seems to be improving at a crazy fast rate. Like every time we see Jiri, he's like exponentially better. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Jiri looks like in his next fight. 'Cause he looked fucking great against Dominic Reyes. You know what I mean? Alright, let's get into this next round. Hugo Boss is saying, do you think it's worth taking a look at Gustafsson versus Jan? Yeah, I really do. I do think it's a good. I do think it is worth taking a look at it, Hugo Boss. We will. You brought up a really good point, Hugo Boss, because like if we look at Blachowicz's record, right? Izzy's a striker, Reyes is a striker. That fight ended too quick. Jacare didn't really fully commit to trying to take him down. Rockhold did, and his takedown offense looked amazing. Santos didn't try and take him down. There was grappling there. There was no grappling there. I think they fought in a clinch for 3 rounds. Cannonier, can't really remember that fight. I do think these 3 fights could be worth watching. Even though they were a long time ago, they are going to be like probably the last time we've seen guys, aside from Rockhold, really shooting in on Blachowicz and trying to take him down. So yeah, definitely a good idea, because I remember, like from hazy memories, I remember that Gustafsson was in a lot of trouble on the feet. I remember Blachowicz was kind of outstriking him, and then Gustafsson kept shooting deep double leg takedowns, putting Blachowicz on the ground, and that's how he ended up winning the fight. So yeah, definitely worth taking a look at that one, man. Sounds good. Sounds good, mate. Good idea, Hugo Boss, dude. Interesting. So Donatus is saying that Jiri is the replacement for this fight and is guaranteed a title shot. No need to risk anything. Hey, it's unlucky being a replacement for this fight, right? Glover and fucking Jan, tough as nails. I don't think I ever recall Jan or Glover pulling out of a fight. But man, Jiri's got a great chance of becoming champ. You'd fancy Jiri against both these guys with how old they are. You know what I mean? That's a great opportunity for Jiri. Alright, let's get this next round going. Round 2. Sync it up. Get it going. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's go, boys. So you see that the problem with that is you see Glover kind of come out shooting on the legs of Santos and he gets the takedown, but again it is quite a laboured entry and it is quite high up on Santos's hips. Like whether he would be able to shoot a takedown like that on Jan and get it, I'm not so sure, man. It will be very interesting to go back and watch Jan's takedown offense against these three guys, because from memory his takedown offense was pretty bad back then. So it'll kind of be interesting to see if there was like a big difference between like how Jan looked against Rockhold and how Jan looked back then. That's what I'll be fishing for. That's what I'll be trying to see. Yeah, I agree, Bartek, dude, for sure, man. Yeah, we'll watch that fight as well. We'll watch the Krylov fight for sure, man. That's a good idea. So obviously we're not learning too much here because Santos isn't making any attempt to get back up to his feet. But from memory, like Blachowicz is really weak off his back as well. I am interested to see if Glover's worth a bet here. It's just kind of difficult when you see him getting dinged in every fight and then you see how powerful Blachowicz is, which is weird because for a huge chunk of Blachowicz's career he was like pillow-fisted decisionator, and all of a sudden when he got into his late 30s just developed like crazy power out of nowhere. Like if you look at Blachowicz's start to his career, I think he only like had like one knockout win in his first like 20-25 fights, something like that. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. I don't know where he got his power from, but what is interesting is he trains with Marcin Tybura, and around about the same time Jan started making rapid improvements, we also started to see like Marcin Tybura make huge improvements as well. Like both guys have started to improve at quite a rapid rate. So I mean it could be Taz. Who knows, man? I mean it is unusual, right, for a guy at Jan's age to improve as much as he has. Like for Tybura, I get it. Tybura's pretty young for a heavyweight, but for Jan, a little bit more suspicious, because it is like, I'm pretty sure you guys will see what I mean now when we go and watch Jan like back in 2017 2016. I promise you he's going to look very different to the version of Jan we've got now. And what actually might be quite fun to do is if we watch the Izzy fight first and then go back to 2016 2017, I think you'll be shocked at how much he's improved, which is crazy because if you think about it, like around like 2016 2017 he was very experienced. He'd had over 20 pro fights and he was like 34 35. So to be at his best at 38 years old is crazy. It's not logical, you know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense. But even though this Thiago Santos fight isn't tennis very much, like, even though the Thiago Santos fight is not tennis very much, he's still heavy from very heavy from top position, right? We know this. He's very heavy from top position. We know he's heavy from top position. If he does get on top of Jan, it's not going to be easy for Jan to work his way back up to his feet. Glover's got great grappling control. He's a nightmare. Like, I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been Hugo Boss. Someone said it. That, I think Hugo Boss said it, that Jan's got old man strength. Alright, let's get into round 3. Sync up round 3 for me, guys. So round 3 starts at 15 minutes and 32 seconds. Let's get going, guys. 15 minutes, 32 seconds. 15 minutes, 32. Let's get going. 15 minutes. 15 minutes and 32 seconds. Ha! Nick Rodriguez saying both Jan and Tybura have the same doctor. A lot of people insinuating some medications being taken by these Polish boys. I don't know what's going on. I will say it will be interesting to see, like, the difference in Jan, like, between, you know, that kind of like 3-4 years. See how different he looks. Donatus is saying that Reyes was doing the chicken dance after getting hit. I'm not sure how Glover can take it, considering how much long-term damage he has on him. Yeah, I agree with you, dude. And I think Glover gets dinged bad at the beginning of this third round as well, because we watched this fight recently when we did fight research for Thiago Santos against Johnny Walker, and I think Glover's in big trouble at the beginning of this third round as well. So let's get this third round going. Sync it up, get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So let's see how much trouble Glover's in at the beginning of this third round. The thing that really concerns me about Glover is, like, look at that, for example, right? Look at that. He shoots a takedown too high up above Thiago Santos' hips. Santos clears his hips, deals with a takedown, lets his hands go, and immediately drops Glover. Like, it's hard to see Jan not doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, trust me, guys. Trust me. I know I'm going to take a lot of shit for saying this week, but Luke Rockhold is fucking elite. Like, you want to talk about MMA grappling, Luke Rockhold is as good as it gets. Like, think biologically, right? Luke Rockhold trained at AKA his entire career. Who else did he train with? Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like, think about it. Like, Rockhold is seen as like a pretty boy. He's seen as a bum. He's seen as chinny and all this sort of stuff. Trust me, man. Rockhold, as good as it gets when it comes to MMA grappling. And yes, towards the end of his career, he was chinny. Suffered a lot of bad KOs. All that stuff. I get it. But that's how all fighters end up, right? I think someone was saying on YouTube, I think it was Donatus was saying on YouTube, look at Tony Ferguson. It wasn't that long ago people were saying Tony Ferguson would be able to beat Khabib. Now, everyone's saying Tony Ferguson's shot. He's done. He's washed up. Same shit with Rockhold. Wasn't that long ago Rockhold was considered potentially the greatest fighter of all time. I remember listening to people debate, is Rockhold better than John Jones? Is Rockhold better than Demetrius Johnson? Do you know what I mean? Bisping comes along, flash KOs him, and all of a sudden he's washed up, he's a bum. So, you know what I mean? For Jan to completely neutralise Rockhold's grappling like that, it speaks volumes, man, because Rockhold was getting in deep on those hips, deep on those legs, man. Don't like, you know, don't be swayed by the memes, man. Rockhold's no joke. Rockhold is no joke. So when I see Glover kind of shooting in on Thiago like that and getting dinged, it's tough. It is tough. It is tough to see how he's going to be able to get inside and grab a hold of Glover without, you know, eating fight-ending shots. You know what I mean? So what we'll do now, so that we can start to compare how much Blachowicz has changed and improved, let's take a look at his last fight against Israel Adesanya, and this will give us the best indicator of where Jan's at the moment and what we can expect from him this weekend. So I'll drop in the ESPN Plus link for you guys now, and let's get this fight synced up, and let's see what we've got in this one. See if we can dig up a bet here. I will be honest with you, it is tough for me to find value on Jan with him as such a big favourite, but fight doesn't go to a decision is starting to get interesting to me. I think it's about 1.44. Oh my god, no way, double leg. Yes, it is an OVO shit. How the fuck did you know that? How the fuck did you know that, double leg? Yes, mate, it is an OVO shit. It's time to put out, right? You got Halloween this week. Halloween, gang. I'm a big fan of Drake, mate. Nice one, double leg. I didn't think anyone would notice. That's really cool. That is really cool. He's actually dropped some new ones. I was thinking about picking one up, but I'm not the biggest fan of his drop this year. But he has released some new stuff this week. So I was kind of like thinking about picking some stuff up. These are all sold out. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of his Halloween drop, if I'm honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of this stuff, but I do like to support people that I like. So yeah, very cool, double leg. I can't believe you got the same shirt, man. That's really cool, mate. That's really cool, dude. Oh, nice one, Taz, mate. Cheers, dude. And JB is saying Rockhold's entries were so much smoother than Glover's and he never got anywhere near it. Yeah, I agree, JB, dude. I agree, mate. And JB's also saying surely no one from Poland juices KSW seems very natural. You know what as well, JB, mate? I think that Tybura and Blachowicz do train at a gym with a lot of KSW guys. It's called Ankos something. I think it might. I don't think it's Ankos MMA. It's like Ankos and then another Polish word. Wait a minute. If I find their, oh, it is called Ankos MMA in Poznan. I'm pretty sure this is their gym. And you can see literally it's just all KSW guys there. Oh, look who else it is, Muradov. Oh, okay, that is actually Muradov's post. Have they got an Instagram? They do. They've got two. Ankos MMA Poland. I think this is where they train. Oh yeah, you can see it there. No, wait, that's not. Oh, that's UAE Warriors. I thought that was KSW. It's not. But you can see they're all KSW guys. All KSW fighters got this branding, right? This Pitbull Sports, this Extreme Hobby brand. Yeah, there's a lot of KSW guys at this gym. This is like the ATT for Poland, man. There you go. I knew we wouldn't have to scroll far to find some KSW picks. There you go. Tybura's cornering Mikhail Andrziak. Is it Mikhail Andrziak? Mikhail Andrziak. Pretty good heavyweight as well, Mikhail Andrziak. I actually bet him a few times as well. Back in the day when I used to bet the smaller promotions. So yeah. You are right, man. A lot of fighters look juiced up to the gills in KSW, right? Can't imagine drug testing is that strict there. Alright. Let's get into this Izzy fight then. Let's do it. Let's go, let's go. Nick Rodriguez is saying Blachowicz by finishes the plate. Donatus is saying that Gilbert Burns talked about how Rockhold could legit win ADCC if he wanted to, but he competed in Polaris instead, or Polaris they call it, right? Polaris. He's world class at BJJ. J Ref is saying, when's the Diary of a Pro Gambler merch coming out? Do you know what, dude? I do get people ask me all the time to do it. And there is a guy, Gem. I don't know if Gem's online. Gem might not be online. Gem779 owns a Gem779 owns... No, he's not online. Gem779, he's been with me for a few years now. He does own a clothing business, and he said he would do it with me. So maybe one day, man. Maybe one day. I'm just not sure if people care enough, but, you know, maybe one day. Who knows? Who knows? Bartek is saying that Blachowicz trains at the WCA fight gym and Tybura trains at Ankos, but Tybura travels to JB to spar. That makes sense, man. Nice one for letting us know, Bartek, dude. Oh, nice one, Brett. Cheers, dude. Cheers, man. Oh, nice one, J-Ref. Thanks a lot, boys. I might one day. Gem nags me every few months. Like, Gem comes to me in the DMs every few months and says, "Are you ready to do it yet?" It's just getting time, you know what I mean? Just getting time to work on something like that. It's hard, man. There's not enough hours in the day. Herman, okay. Sorry, Herman, dude. I'm getting you confused. Someone DMs me. A member that's been with me a long time DMs me like every once in a while and asks me about merch. Can't remember who it is. Apologies. Trying to think of who it is now. I thought it was Jem, but it's not. He's just come online and said it's not him, so he just popped up. I can't remember who it is. My mind has gone blank. But yeah, maybe one day, man, we'll get on it. Just time's my bloody enemy. Time is my enemy. Alright, boys. Let's get this next one going. Let's go, guys. Let's go into this next one. Sorry, Jem, mate. Sorry, mate. Mistaken identity. I feel really bad now because that means I have forgotten who it actually is, but my mind is like scrambled. I'll have to have a think. I have to remember who it was. I feel really bad now. If you are listening, I am sorry. That's awkward. My mind's gone blank. It'll come back to me. It will come back to me. Alright, let's get into this Izzy fight. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. So obviously there's not going to be any grappling in this, but we're going to get a chance to see how dangerous Jan might be standing. I think what stood out to me in the Rockhold fight is that he was very reactive to what Rockhold was doing in terms of, like, he only attacked Rockhold when Rockhold went first. Like, he was kind of reacting to what Rockhold was giving him, you know what I'm saying? That might be really bad for Glover, because if Blachowicz is just going to stand back, wait for Glover to go first and then react to what Glover's doing, because Glover's quite slow, quite stiff when he comes forward. Like, Glover's at risk, Glover's at big risk of eating huge counters, because if you think about it, like, you don't really have to worry about too much in terms of striking from Glover, right? Like I say, he's quite stiff and he's quite slow. Jan's basically going to be worried about the takedown. So every time Glover comes forward, you'd think Blachowicz is going to be starting to back up in anticipation of that takedown entry coming. And because Glover doesn't shoot in really deep on the legs and generate a lot of drive on his takedown attempts, like, you could literally see a situation where, like I say, Blachowicz is playing the role of Matador, waiting for Glover to come to him, and then when Glover does come to him, just hammering him with big counters. And when you see how accurate Jan was at landing that big power left hand against Rockhold, and when you see how much trouble Glover was in standing against Santos, like, realistically, he almost got knocked out at the beginning of the first and the third round. The only reason why Glover was able to survive is because he was able to drag Santos to the ground. But imagine if he's in a position where he's rocked, he's hurt bad, he's wobbled, and we see the level of takedown defense from Blachowicz that we saw from him against Rockhold. Like, that puts Glover in an impossible situation then, because when he gets hurt bad, he's going to have nowhere that he can really take the fight to recover. So this is potentially really tricky for Glover. What's up, Shocks, mate? We're leaving on Monday, man. We are leaving on Monday. Do you know what, dude? Right now, I'm not looking forward to it, only because of the amount of work I got to get through before I can go. But it will be nice to have a week off from having to do any fight research, man. I am looking forward to that, definitely. It's just, it's not really a week off, you know what it's like, because you have to do the same amount of work, you just have to cram it in before. But I will feel good once we've got through all this research, man. Can't wait, mate, to get it done. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good, mate. It'll be good going back to a similar place I went in the summer, I think. I don't know too much about this trip, if I'm honest. I haven't really had much input in what we're doing, but hopefully it'll be good, mate. Fingers crossed. Although I think it's Champions League week that week, which is a bit annoying. Because obviously we made big money betting Champions League and Europa League last week. But there's football every day of the week, you know what I mean? There was loads of football matches tonight which look great for betting, so there's always going to be games on. You know what I mean? You can't think like that. It's like football every day of the week pretty much. You know, and there's like with football, like different leagues, different tournaments, different types of games, different teams. There's like different strategies that can be applied to like lots of different types of games. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. There's always going to be ways to make money on any type of football. Do you know what I mean? You just have to adjust to what teams are playing, what the tournament is. You know, there's lots to consider, but. Like having football every day of the week's amazing, man. Once this UFC schedule calms down a little bit, we'll get right back on that. But yeah, it does suck that I'm going to miss the next run of Champions League and Europa League games because I had a lot of fun last week. And then after that, we got a 2-week international break, which isn't good. Because I will say this, international qualifiers are a little bit more tricky to bet. Just because you never know when the players are actually going to give a fuck about winning. International games, pretty tricky unless they're major tournaments. Alright boys, let's get into round 2. Let's go guys, let's get into round 2. So sync up round 2 for me guys. It starts at 10 minutes exactly. Let's go, it starts at 10 minutes exactly. 10 minutes exactly. Let's go, let's go. 10 minutes exactly. 10 minutes, and let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Like, David did bring up a really good point earlier, though. Like, what I do see from Jan is that he's also quite stiff and flat-footed. Like, he's obviously a big, strong guy, but perhaps he is one of these guys that needs to use the cage as a base to defend the takedown, which means if Glover does shoot in on him out in the open octagon, perhaps he's a lot easier to take down out in the open octagon than he is against the cage, because Rockhold was driving him into the cage before working for takedowns. Like, maybe Jan's takedown offense out in the octagon's not as impressive. But like little combinations like that, right? Body kick to the big overhand right. Like, there's such a physicality and power to Jan's style of striking. Very difficult to see Glover being able to deal with that. It is tricky. Oh, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good, Sherry. You gotta send me some links to your stuff. That sounds good. You gotta send me some links to your stuff. Nice one, Sherry. Thanks a lot. It is quite notable to me as well, like I say, how Jan isn't leading. He's letting Izzy go first. And I think this is what threw Izzy off in this fight. Izzy likes to counter-strike, and Jan didn't play that game. It was like a game of chicken, where both guys were waiting on the other to go first. And it kind of threw Izzy off. I do think counter-striking is going to be kryptonite for a guy like Glover, because when he comes forward, he's very, very vulnerable with how slow he moves and how slow he is to reacting to what his opponent's doing. It is also worth paying attention to like Blachowicz's gas tank here. I know he slowed down a fair bit in this fifth round, or not the fifth round, sorry, I think it was like the fourth round. But Blachowicz definitely slowed down as this fight went on. Oh, I didn't know Aston Villa were playing tonight, man. I didn't realise, man. I thought they were playing tomorrow night. I thought Villa were playing tomorrow night. There's more cup games tomorrow, right? Alright, you got a break for a low blow. We'll wait for this to play out. Wait for this to play out. And oh, they're back up and running already. That is good timing. That is good timing, man. Here we go. Where's the countdown clock? Sorry, guys. We're out of sync now because of that foul. What I am also interested in seeing is how dangerous Blachowicz looks into like the second, the third, the fourth round, to see if this is one of those situations where maybe if Glover can make it out of round one, perhaps Blachowicz becomes a lot less dangerous. It's difficult to say because of obviously how elusive Izzy is. Like, it's very, very difficult to get to Izzy. I'm not really seeing Blachowicz land head strikes here. They're kind of chipping away at each other with kicks. Because you've got to think, if Jan does start to slow down, will it make it easier for Glover to kind of drive him into the cage and start using his dirty boxing to wear on him in the clinch? Because that's really going to accelerate the rate at which Blachowicz would slow down. So sync up round 3 for me now. It starts at 16 minutes 35 seconds. Sync it up. Sync it up, sync it up. Let's go, let's go. Sync it up. Sync it up, guys. And let's get it going. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go. Go, go, go. Alright guys, let's go, let's go. So what I am seeing here is Blachowicz slowing a little bit. He's starting to slow to the point where his hand speed is not as sharp as it was in round 1. As I say that, he comes forward with a big 2-strike combination. So this is where Blachowicz gets his grappling going. Do you guys think that Blachowicz is slowing down a little bit here? Or do you think Izzy's just kind of picking up the pace on him? For me, since like round 2, you're starting to see Blachowicz with his mouth open wide. Hand speed is dropping a little bit. His volume's also dropping quite a bit as well. Like as he backs up and circles away from Izzy there, you see him take a big deep breath. Gets back to the body lock now. Moist Penguin is saying he's got Blachowicz at minus 170. Those are great odds, man. I would be betting Blachowicz at those odds for sure. Nice bet, Penguin, mate. If I could bet Penguin at the, if I could bet Blachowicz at those odds, I would for sure, man. 100%, mate. Think he's a great bet at minus 170. Obviously, the odds that he's currently at, tricky. But I do think we're only midway through round 2, and I do think Blachowicz is slow in here. Like, as they disengage from that clinch position, you're seeing Blachowicz take a big deep breath. And now look at his body language, right? Mouth open wide. You can see him visibly breathing heavy. Look how he's kind of backing up here. Like, his body language is completely changed. And what worries me a little bit about what we're seeing from Blachowicz here, like you see there, big deep breath into the nose, out through the mouth. He's breathing very heavy here. And you started to see this happen in round 2. Towards the end of round 2, Blachowicz started to breathe pretty heavily and you could see his hand speed drop. What would bother me about that is if, like, Blachowicz were to slip on a banana skin in round 1 and Glover were able to get him down and wear him down on the ground. You know, if Glover were able to, you know, get on top of him or just hold him in a clinch for a little bit, beat him up in the clinch, force him to defend the takedown, would we see Blachowicz gas really bad? Because, let's be real, this fight hasn't been contested at a very high pace, and Blachowicz looks very tired here to me. And this has been like a friendly kickboxing match where both guys have just chipped away at each other. You can imagine how tired Blachowicz would be at this stage in a fight against Glover if Glover was able to force him to grapple hard early. Because then you've got to wonder, when Blachowicz gets this tired, is he going to have the energy to defend takedown attempts, you know? You know what I mean? Tom Tomod is saying, look at what Glover's done to so many guys. Like, for me, I'm just thinking, like, if Glover can make it out of the first round, will Jan be dangerous enough to put him away if Glover can kind of make him work hard enough early? You know what I'm saying? Will he be able to tire him out? Not necessarily, though, Roland Dito, right? Because you got to think about it. So if we sync up round 4... So round 4 starts at 22 minutes 44 seconds. So I started to notice Jan was slowing down here, like midway through round 2. And like, this fight has been contested at a really slow pace. Like, you gotta think about it. Like, what happens if Jan were to knock Glover down in round 1 and not put him away, but exerts a lot of energy going for the finish? Or what happens if he gets overly aggressive going for the finish and goes to the ground with Glover and ends up on the bottom? What happens if Jan is one of these guys that needs to use the cage to defend the takedown and Glover kind of wears on him in the clinch against the cage like Rockhold did? Like, there are lots of ways that Jan could burn through energy a lot faster against Glover than he did here against Izzy, and there were definite signs that he was slowing down in round 2 against Izzy. So here's a bit of an eye-opener, this one for me. So let's get this next one going. This starts at 22 minutes 44 seconds. 22 minutes 44 seconds. Let's go. Yes, my turn is coming, mate. Let's see what we get. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh man, it is tough. It is tough. Okay, Hugo Boss, definitely, mate. Hugo Boss wants to do Gustafsson versus Blachowicz next. We will do that, dude, for sure. No worries, mate. No worries, no worries, no worries. We will do it, man. We will do it, mate. Oh my god. Didn't realise Jan slowed down as early as this into the fight. I know it came, I just didn't realise it was this early. What you notice now is anytime Jan exerts a lot of energy, he like backs up and takes a big deep breath. And the problem for a guy like Glover is when he sees that and feels that, he's going to start shooting in on the legs and trying to drag Blachowicz to the ground. You've got to wonder how good is Blachowicz's takedown defense going to be when he gets tired. Maybe Glover will get the fairy tale ending after all. It will be interesting to watch the Dominic Reyes fight to see like how he looked in round 2 against Reyes before the fight ended. Not too sure what you mean by that, David, mate. What do you mean, dude? Not too sure. Do you mean what are his weaknesses? And again, like it was difficult to assess Glover's... Like it was difficult to assess Glover's top game. Because Izzy's not making any attempt to work his way back up to his feet here. It's tricky to attempt Jan's top game as... Or tricky to assess Jan's top game as well, you know? Tricky. What's up, Ghoul, mate? What's up, dude? You can see Izzy's kind of just hanging on here. And I think I saw in the interviews after this fight, Izzy was just saying by this stage in the matchup, his legs were completely burnt out and he just didn't have the energy to create space for himself off his back. Like you can see he's trying to slip that left leg out from underneath Blachowicz. But Blachowicz just pushes that left leg back down and moves into side control. What's up, Ghoul, mate? So after this is done, I want to start scouting for more evidence of Blachowicz's takedown defense. Because it looked bloody good against Rockhold. And I'm interested to see if I've got the perception that Blachowicz has got bad takedown defense. Because maybe his takedown defense gets worse as the fight goes on, as he gets tired. Maybe he's always been difficult to take down early but as the fight wears on, he gets easier to take down. Like the Patrick Cummins fight might show us that. It is weird if he really has improved a lot between the ages of like 34 and 35 up to like 37, 38. It would be weird. It would be very weird. Alright, let's get this next one going. Sync up round 5 for me. Let's go. So this starts at 28 minutes and 52 seconds. Let's get it going, guys. 28 minutes 52. 28 minutes 52. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Go, go, go. Let's go. Yeah, you can see, I mean, I know it's in the 5th round, right? So it's understandable, but you can see that Blachowicz's hand speed's noticeably dropped here. When we go watch a Dominic Reyes fight, it will be interesting to see how he looks in round 2. So yeah, it's an interesting fight, this one. Like I say, I am considering a bet on Glover. It's just very hard with how easy he is to hit. And how dangerous Jan is early. That's the problem. It's not going to be easy for Glover to survive early. Especially if Jan is pretty aggressive early. Obviously, I think the longer the fight goes, the better it gets for Glover. Alright, I tell you what, guys, we don't need to see Izzy laying on his back for another 2.5 minutes. Let's get into another fight. Let's go look at something else. So let's start to try and find out a little bit more about Blachowicz's grappling. So if we start off with the Nikita Krylov fight, let's do that. Let's go. So Glover, Krylov, let's get into it. So sync this up, guys. Sync it up. Oh yeah, Penguin. We watched the Rockhold fight at the beginning of the stream, man. So sync up this next one, guys. This is gonna be Blachowicz against Krylov, and I think there was a good amount of grappling in this fight. So on Fight Pass, it starts at 1 minute 57. So it starts at 1 minute 57. There's no ESPN Plus link. There's no ESPN Plus link for this fight. So let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. So Glover jumping all over that single leg. Interesting because Jan likes to throw a lot of kicks, right? Jan goes the body a lot. He likes to attack the legs with leg kicks. I mean, we saw in the Izzy fight, both guys were just chipping away at each other with kicks. So interesting how Glover jumped all over that. Really looking forward to going and taking a look at some of Jan's older fights. Oh, Demi Dormer's talking about a PFL weigh-in ceremony. Who's fighting on PFL this week, man? Gotta be honest, I don't really watch other MMA promotions aside from UFC, just because the max bet limits and liquidity is really low on promotions outside UFC. So if ever there's no UFC work to be done, I watch other sports where the max bet limits and liquidity is a lot better. Like I'd prefer to watch football and live bet football than put time into betting PFL, just because you can't really make any decent money on PFL, you know. Max bet limits are too low, or at least they are in the UK. What's up, Spiz, mate? Who's the GWOAT, mate? Greatest woman of all time. Is that what GWOAT stands for? Is it Kayla Harrison's fighting, is she? JH120. Hey, what's up, MMA Locker Room? How you doing, MMA Locker Room, mate? Is Long Beach in the house? What's up, dude? What's up? It's so cool if you actually are from Long Beach, mate. That is really cool. Hope you're doing good, mate. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, dude. JH125 is asking about it's tricky, man. It is tricky. It is tricky. JH1 is asking a really tough question. Do you know what, dude? If you're only looking to bet $20 per event, you might be better off because from the sound of your question, it sounds like you want to try and earn like a lot of money from $20. With betting on MMA, obviously it's really hard to make big profits with $20. Like if I were you, if you've only got $20 to bet per card, I would play DraftKings instead, because like the big weekly DraftKings tournament, it's got like huge prize pools. So I think this week's big tournament is like a $25 buy-in, and first place wins like $100,000. So rather than trying to earn like a little bit on betting MMA with $20, I think you'd be better off just entering the weekly big DraftKings tournament. That's what I would do, mate, if I didn't have much cash to play with, because then you can it is like hitting a lotto ticket, right? And even if you don't win the tournament, you might still place in the tournament and get paid a decent amount. Jesus, Glover's looking very fragile here on the feet. Literally every time Krylov lets his hands go, he's landing clean and hard. Like literally every time. Every time Every time Krylov throws a punch, he's landing clean and hard. You can just see Glover super vulnerable as he comes forward. Very easy to hit. Alright, let's get this next one going. Round 2. Let's go, let's go. Round 2. Alright guys, let's go. Round 2 starts at 8 minutes and 8 seconds. Let's go. 8 minutes and 8 seconds. 8 minutes and 8 seconds. Let's go. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I get destroyed on DraftKings goal. I've never been good at it, man. I don't do well on DraftKings at all, dude. Struggle City, mate. I struggle at it bad. Like every week, I enter the big tournament. Just like my logic is like if I played the big tournament every single week in my life, like with how much fight research we do, if I play the big tourney every week in my life, like in my lifetime, like I should win the tournament like a couple times in my lifetime, but on a weekly basis, mate, I get destroyed. Perform real bad at it, man. So yeah, it's tough. It is very tough, mate. But I know there's people out there who do great on DraftKings. It's just not something I do well at. Get killed every week. It's tough. I think I struggle on DraftKings because I approach it like it's betting, and I know you need to kind of approach DraftKings a little bit differently. Like I just kind of pick 6 players on my team every week that think I've got a good chance to win, but I know that's not the correct way to do things. Because if you do that, you often end up with a lot of people having a similar team, which means if you do place high, you end up like splitting the prize pot loads of different ways. And that's happened to me a few times. Like a few times now, I've finished super high in the big weekly tournament, and I've barely won anything because of how many different people have had to share the prize pool that ended on the same number of points as me. So, yeah, my history with DraftKings is not good, man. Don't take my advice on DraftKings. I get killed. Yeah, one thing that is very notable to me here is like we can't excuse like how bad Glover is defensively. Like if we think about it, you know, Jan was still looking pretty sharp at the beginning of that first round against Rockhold. Was still moving okay in round 2 against Izzy, and like if you think about it, I think Glover's going to be in a lot of trouble standing here. Like a lot of trouble. I'm really interested to go and see Jan's takedown defense now. In some of his other fights. Obviously it looked incredible against Rockhold, but I want to see, like David said earlier on, how Jan deals with guys trying to take him down in the middle of the octagon, trying to catch his kicks. But you see the pace that Glover's putting on Krylov here, right? It was by this stage in the fight against Izzy that we started to see Jan slow down, whereas here Glover's literally chasing after Krylov. And you can see Krylov's really struggling under the pressure. And the thing is, right, Krylov's landing big shots on Glover to try and back him up. But Glover's just walking through everything. You've got to imagine that if Glover can take Jan's shots, he is going to wear him down pretty quickly. But it's just hard to see Glover taking Jan's shots because of how powerful Jan's looked and how hittable Glover's looking here. So yeah, for me, this one's going to come down to how Jan's takedown defense is going to look in some of these older fights that we're going to watch. In the UK, we don't pay tax on gambling profits, Penguin, which is really cool. I know that that's getting rare these days. A lot of countries do tax gambling profits, but we're lucky in the UK we don't. Oh, thanks for hitting the like button, MMA Locker Room. Really appreciate it, dude. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I agree with you, Aaron, man. I think Kimeev's definitely the real deal, mate. He's an absolute beast. Very, very good. Alright, let's get into round 3. So round 3 starts at 14 minutes and 21 seconds. Let's get it going, guys. 14 minutes 21. That's 14 minutes 21. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So what I'm going to do after this, guys, we'll do the Ankalaev versus Oezdemir fight after this. I know I said I was going to do it after yesterday's stream, but then something come up. But I will definitely do it after this stream is done. We'll get into Ankalaev Oezdemir like 5-10 minutes after this one's done. And we'll see if we can dig up a bet on that fight. And I'll be streaming that over on Twitch. So if you guys want to watch the Oezdemir Ankalaev stream, I'll be doing it over on Twitch or on my website. Drop the Twitch link in. Can't do the stream on YouTube. Just the YouTube copyright algorithms like crazy aggressive. So we'll do that one over on Twitch. Krylov getting overly aggressive on a back take there, ends up on the bottom. That would be another one of my worries for Jan as well here. Like if Jan gets lured to the ground with Glover, we know that so many guys go to the ground with Glover, like they get on top of him or they beat him in a scramble, they get his back. And almost every time you go to the ground with Glover, he finds a way to put you in a bad position. Like he'll hit a reversal, he'll hit a sweep. He always finds his way out of trouble and always finds his way into a dominant position. You know, if Jan needs to treat the ground like lava in this fight. Because from what I remember of Jan's ground game, it's not good. You know what, Penguin man? I do remember. If you remember, last time the UFC was in Abu Dhabi, I'm not sure if they hang on, I'm not too sure. But last time the UFC were on Fight Island in Abu Dhabi, if you remember, they used a lot of the IMMAF. They used a lot of the IMMAF refs like Lucas Bazaki, Mark Goddard, Leon Roberts. Like they used a lot of those guys, the European ones, because I think those guys referee a lot of the promotions that take place in Saudi Arabia, like UAE Warriors and ACB. So the someone like Mark Goddard or something might be ref in the fights this weekend. Because they haven't been doing, the European refs haven't been doing the fights in the Apex Center, right? Yeah, that's right, my turn. Might have Bazaki back this week. God, fuck me. I remember the judging was so bad. The judging was so fucking bad the first time they went to Fight Island. It wasn't great the second time either. So hopefully the judging's this weekend. Although to be fair, with so many big favourites on this card and so many guys having huge advantages, I can't see the judge. I can't see many of these fights going to the judges. And even if they do, the fights are probably going to be really one-sided. Yeah, Colby's going to be happy that Goddard's not going to be doing that fight next week. I'm assuming Goddard won't do it next week because of international travel restrictions. Although I think Colby said that, I think Colby has said a few times that he's never going to let Mark Goddard ref another one of his fights, which I thought was quite funny. It will also be interesting to go back and watch that fight in the cold light of day when we research it later on in the week, like going back and watching the Usman versus Colby fight, because Colby has talked so much about how Goddard screwed him in that matchup. It'll be interesting to watch it back in the cold light of day and see what actually happened, if Goddard did make a mistake or if it was a good stoppage. I can't remember it. Like, my memories are a little bit fuzzy, but I'm looking forward to going and watching it back. Alright, so that's Glover done. I think I've seen enough on Glover now. You kind of know what to expect from him. We watch a good amount of footage on him. And I don't think if we watch more footage we would learn more about Glover. That is enough for me. So what we will do next is learn a little bit more about Blachowicz's grappling. So we should probably watch his fight against Krylov to do a direct comparison. So let's start off with that one, and then we can kind of, visualize how they match up by looking at how they both dealt with Krylov. So sync up this next one for me. Sync it up. Let's get it going. Sync it up. Sync it up. So this starts at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Let's get into it, guys. 2 minutes and 7 seconds. 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So obviously this fight was a while ago now. It was 3 years ago. So we think Jan has improved a lot since then. Hopefully we get to see a good amount of grappling in this fight. See, that's the kind of shit that haunts me now. That's the kind of shit that bothers me. Look at how easily Jan gave that takedown up. And as soon as he went to the ground, he went to full guard. Oh my god. Might have to bet Glover here, man. I've already got two really risky bets. I've already got two really risky bets for this card, and I might have to put another one out there. Blachowicz goes down easily and immediately goes to full guard. How long ago was this fight? 3 years ago. Ah, fuck. It was only a year before the Rockhold fight. So how much could he really have improved in that space of time? And at 38, like, you wouldn't expect... At 38, you wouldn't expect him to be, like, loads better than he is here. Yeah, it's complicated, David, man. Because the problem I've got is my whole memory, like, I took so much shit for betting Rockhold to beat Jan Blachowicz. I remember now I got abused to death. Like, people, the trolls, still troll me over betting on Luke Rockhold to beat Jan Blachowicz. And I'm like, bitch, please. Like, look at this. Look at this. If I'm researching Luke Rockhold against Jan Blachowicz back in 2018, like, it's very easy for you to make fun of me now with the wisdom of hindsight. But if I'm researching Luke Rockhold, Jan Blachowicz in 2019 before this fight takes place, and I'm watching Krylov getting him down easily, Cummins dominating him on the ground, Gustafsson getting him down easily, what's a man to do? What am I supposed to do? You know? It's tough. It is very, very tough. The problem is, though, JB, man, we don't really have a lot of evidence that Blachowicz's takedown defense and ground game has improved that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, all we've got to go off is the Rockhold fight. That's what's tricky for me. That's interesting, JB. It is weird how he, like, developed power out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, he literally just became crazy powerful out of nowhere. And he's definitely gone more powerful, right? Like, let's be real. You look at the kind of damage he's inflicted on someone like Dominic Reyes. Like, Dominic Reyes is another guy that people love to make fun of, calling him shot, washed up, all this sort of stuff. But it wasn't that long ago that Dominic Reyes essentially beat John Jones. Like, Dominic Reyes is legit as fuck. I know he lost to Jan Blachowicz and Jiri Prohaska. Doesn't change the fact that, you know, Dominic Reyes is a young, hungry bull who a lot of top guys have struggled against. And the amount of damage Blachowicz was able to inflict on him is ridiculous. I'd imagine it would be less strict as, because it is the Fight Island events, I think, are regulated by the UFC themselves, like when the UFC do events in Brazil and stuff. So I'd imagine it's more lenient than like the Nevada State Athletic Commission. I don't know for sure though. Ghouli's saying, I think you get so much shit is because you do like an hour plus in depth. Why are most people talk for like 5-10 minutes about a fight? Yeah, man. Labot is saying Glover should have superior dominance on top. Yeah, if the fight goes to the ground, I think Jan is screwed. But let's get into round 2 and see what happens in round 2. Let's get it going. Let's go. So round 2 starts in 8 minutes and 17 seconds. 8 minutes and 17 seconds. Let's get it going. 8 minutes and 17 seconds. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This week is giving me a headache, man. These are such complicated fights. Like I say, I've already got 2 really high-risk bets this week. I don't really want another one. But then at the end of the day, the whole point of high-risk bets is that you can't cherry-pick them. If you identify high-risk bets that have got a good amount of value, you kind of have to bet them all because you don't know which ones are going to hit. So you've got to take them all, because then if one of them hits, you make a small profit. Or, you know, it depends how many you've bet, right? But the point I'm trying to make is you can't cherry-pick because it's a volume game. You know that all the bets are high-risk. They're all quite unlikely to win. Against a 38-year-old, possibly. You know what I'm saying, Ghoul? It's not like Glover's fighting a young, hungry bull. You know what I mean? That's what makes this tricky. Like, usually I wouldn't be interested in betting on a 41-year-old, right? So Glover's 41 years old. He's actually 42. He will actually be 42 by the time the fight takes place. It's his birthday this week. So yeah, man, like usually I wouldn't want to bet a 42-year-old guy, but against a 38-year-old guy, it's not as big of a deal. Jan will be 39 in February. 2 old dogs. Hugo Boss said, I think you've got something here about guys that have good takedown defense against the cage compared to out in the open. That is true. David brought it up initially. Basically, it's a lot easier to defend takedowns against the cage than it is out in the middle of the octagon, because when you've got the cage, you can kind of lean on the cage, use it as a base to defend a takedown, and if you do get taken down, again, you can use the cage as a base to wall walk back up to your feet. So what you do find, just because someone's got good takedown defense against the cage doesn't necessarily mean they'll have good takedown defense out in the middle of the octagon. So some people will be very difficult to take down if you drive them into the cage and work for a takedown up against the cage. But then other guy, the same guy can be very easy to take down in the middle of the octagon. So it's possible that Blachowicz looked very, very difficult to take down against Rockhold, because Rockhold was driving him into the cage, and then Blachowicz was using the cage as base to defend the takedown. But if Glover were to get in on his legs by maybe like catching a kick or something in the middle of the octagon, it would be a lot easier for Glover to get him down. Like, that is possible, but the problem is it's inconclusive, because we haven't really seen a lot of Jan's grappling since 2019, and a lot can change in 2 years. But then on the flip side, I'm thinking, is a 38-year-old guy really going to be making big improvements? Like, that's what's tripping me out a little bit. Like, let's take a look if there were any takedown attempts from Devin Clark, because Devin Clark is another guy that people do not think is very good, but he's actually a great offensive wrestler. So let's take a look and see. So he went 0 for 2. So it's probably worth watching this fight. It didn't last very long. You know, I want to go into quite a lot of depth on this, because I'm on the fence at the moment about this one. You know what, Bart? I will say this, mate. So sync up this next fight for me, guys. This is... Randy is saying don't bet Glover, pass on this one, mate. It is tricky for me, Randy, only because I've already got a few other high risk bets on this card, and you really don't want to cherry pick when it comes to bets like this, because if the bets I've already got lose and Glover wins, I've basically bet like a dickhead. You really don't want to cherry pick if you find value on a big underdog. You need to hit them all. It's a numbers game, because it's kind of like how do I describe it? It's like martingale. Oh, it's not really like the martingale strategy, because that's doubling up. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's like spread betting, right? If you're taking lots of high risk gambles on the basis that most of those bets are going to lose, but the ones that do win will more than make up for your losses and then give you a profit on top, you can't really afford to cherry pick, because the ones that you decide against betting could be the ones that hit. And ultimately, whenever you're betting someone in the odds range we see Glover in, or Sandhagen in, for example, there's going to be huge issues with them, right? They're not going to be safe bets. The probability is more higher that they will lose. So it's tricky, man. You do not want to be selective with bets like this. This is where you do want to be very loose. So it's tricky, man. It is tricky. So let's get into this Devin Clark fight. See how Jan's takedown offense looks here. So it starts at 1 minute 34. Let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. But how did Jan's takedown offense look like against Corey in their first fight? I don't know. Oh, see? So there's a very nice deep double leg takedown from Clark. But again, what do you notice about that takedown, guys? What do you notice about the takedown? What's unique about that takedown? Clark drove him into the cage, right? Did you notice that Blachowicz was actually on his butt? And then he kind of used the cage as a base to stand back up. So Blachowicz does look like he could be one of these guys who's very good at using the cage to defend takedowns. Maybe not so much out in the middle of the octagon. Like, it's a bit of an assumption, but you are starting to see a little bit of a trend. Got another headache. I was saying well, I was saying in all the live streams this week that like this card is a treat to research, because for months now I feel all we've been getting is like really, really low level, really, you know, poor quality fight night cards with a lot of low level matchups on them. And it's so easy to just skim through most of the fights. Like, just do the fight research, and really early on you can identify that they're just passes, right? There's no strong positions on the fights, the majority of them. So they're quite boring to research. But this card, man, there's so many complex fights that, like, it takes a lot of brain power to get through them. Like, even the Volkanovski versus Ortega card wasn't great. Like, it was quite top heavy. You had good fights on the main card, but then the prelims were quite sketchy. Like, these next two cards have got so many interesting fights. Waiting for that next takedown attempt from Devin Clark. The problem with Glover is that I do think he is one of these guys that will engage with Blachowicz. It's not like Glover's going to fight safer. Like, it's not like Glover's going to do what Clark is doing here, where he's kind of staying all the way outside of a range where he can be hit, or blitzing forward, looking for the takedown. Like, he's not going to play that game. Devin Clark is very aware that he doesn't want to stand and strike with Blachowicz, whereas we know Glover, he's just going to walk Blachowicz down, pressure him, and hope that an opportunity opens up to kind of drag Blachowicz to the ground. So you've only seen Clark really commit to one takedown attempt in this fight. It was a long time ago though, right, Bot? Wasn't it a long time ago? Yeah, it was 2015, man. That was 6 years ago. That's why I'm watching the that's why I'm watching like Devin Clark, Cummins, Gustafsson, mate, just because this fight was such a long time ago that it's possible that Blachowicz could have improved a lot since then. Like, I don't even feel great about watching these fights, which took place like 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's not good, you know. Yeah, for sure. But that's the question, right? That's really the question. How much has Blachowicz improved his takedown defense since those fights against like Corey? You know, how much has he improved? Because against Rockhold, his takedown defense looked great, but is that because Rockhold was driving him into the cage? You know what I mean? If Glover starts jumping on single legs out in the middle of the octagon, you know, is Blachowicz going to be as good at dealing with it? That's where I would wonder. It's tough to work out. Alright, let's get round 2 going. Sync it up, guys. Let's get the round 2. So round 2 starts in 7 minutes 44 seconds. That's 7 minutes 44. Let's get it going. 7 minutes 44. Sync it up. Let's get it going. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. Yeah, Brandon, Jan is definitely not a lock, man. I mean, there's very, very few locks in MMA anyway, but a guy that has huge weaknesses can't be a lock. Like, if you think about it, right, Blachowicz is pretty bad on the ground. So we know Glover's very good on the ground. there's no way that a guy like Blachowicz can be a lock, because if he slips on a banana skin, ends up on the ground with Glover, you know he's going to be in a lot of trouble. In order for a guy to be considered a locky lock, I think they've got to have virtually no weaknesses. And there's very few guys like that in MMA. Or very few weaknesses that their opponent can exploit, right? But Glover's a strong grappler, so we know he's capable of exploiting Blachowicz's weaknesses. The question is whether or not he can get the fight to the ground, which won't be easy based on what we've seen in that Rockhold fight. See, this is the concern. Now you start to see Blachowicz reverting back to that Matador style where he's waiting for Devin Clark to go first. And when Devin Clark comes forward, see, this is the worry. Yeah, this is the worry. This is the worry. Yeah. I literally, before he even stepped that takedown, I could see it coming. We saw Blachowicz's entire body language and strategy change in this round. Where in round 1, he was kind of leading. And then in round 2, he flipped to every time Devin Clark came forward, he was just backing up and looking to counter. And as soon as he started to do that, it was very difficult for Clark to land on him and get the takedown, because the amount of distance Clark had to cover to get to Blachowicz. And then by the time he arrived at Blachowicz, Blachowicz was able to sprawl out with a takedown. So seeing this fight's going to be a pass for me, I think, boys. I'm going to give this one a miss. I think at the beginning of this round, Blachowicz got caught flat-footed and cold. But he's going to know, he's surely going to know that Glover is going to try and take him down. So you'd think it would be pretty unlikely Glover would be able to catch him cold early on. And yeah, it's tricky, man. I think I'm going to pass on this one. You know, like Blachowicz saw that takedown entry coming from a mile away and was able to clear his legs, get him out of danger, sprawl out of it. If Blachowicz kind of just backs up and reacts to what Glover's doing, I just don't see how Glover's going to get knocked out. Let me know what you think, though, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the live chat what you think. Let me know. If you really want to bet this fight, like if you really want to bet this fight, I think that... Okay, I did promise Hugo Boss we would watch Gustafsson versus Blachowicz, so we'll do that before we go. Sorry, Hugo, mate, I almost forgot. Yeah, we'll do the Gustafsson Blachowicz fight now before we turn this off. We will turn it off. We will do a Blachowicz Gustafsson now. Sorry about that, Hugo Boss. So let's get that one up. So where is it? Here we go. So this is Blachowicz versus Gustafsson. So Roland Dito's going to pass. JB's going to pass. Nice one, boys. Alright. Randy's saying thinks I should pass. I'm going to take your advice, boys. Nice one for the help, though. Thanks a lot, everyone. But I am going to watch this Gustafsson fight, because I did say to Hugo Boss we would watch it. He wants us to watch this. And it could be useful as well, man, to figure out how the fight might look if... you know, Glover does get Blachowicz down, right? So sync this fight up for me. Sync it up, guys. It starts at... Jesus, it starts quite deep in. So it starts at 7 minutes and 17 seconds in. So that's 7 minutes and 17 seconds in. I'm not too sure about Rob Font versus Jose Aldo, Brandon, mate. I'm not too sure, man. I'll have to research that one closer to the time. It's coming up soon, though, right? I remember looking at some upcoming cards and seeing that matchup coming up pretty soon. So, sync up this next round for me, guys. Sync it up. Starts at 7 minutes 17 seconds. That's 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Let's get it going, guys. And let's get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, let's go. So from memory, Gustafsson was kind of getting outstruck here. and then had to use his wrestling to rescue him. The problem is, obviously, this fight was 5 years ago. So it is hard to form opinions on a fight that took place 5 years ago, you know what I mean? Because of how much Blachowicz could have changed and improved since then. I mean, he could have declined as well, but it doesn't look like he has. So what I'll do after this stream, boys, I'll take a bit of a break. So see, again, takedown entry from Gustafsson quite high up above Blachowicz's hips. And he does a really good job of clearing his legs and getting those underhooks in play early. This is what worries me, man. This is what worries me. Because that's the exact height that Glover usually shoots in at. So far, apart from like one really cheap takedown that he gave up at the beginning of the Devin Clark fight, Blachowicz's takedown defenses looked really good. But after this, I'm going to be researching Ankalaev versus Oezdemir over on Twitch and on my website. So if you want to watch research for that, slide on in, everybody. Hopefully we can find a bet on that fight, although I don't think we will. I think it's going to be one of those fights where, you know, Ankalaev is probably going to be more likely to win, but it is going to be tough to bet Ankalaev at those odds. Obviously, Oezdemir hits hard. He's got pretty vicious leg kicks. He's quite a tough dude as well. Ankalaev, big favourite, so not getting a great deal on him. So yeah, Blachowicz's takedown offense for the most part has looked good. And everyone's telling me to pass, so I'm going to take your advice and not roll the dice on Glover. Penguin is saying that Glover's going to be the first guy to die after tasting the Polish power. It is crazy how much more powerful Blachowicz is these days. It is kind of nuts. So this is another long stream. These fights are really complicated to get through, man. These are time-consuming ones to get through. And then, of course, when we're done with this card, we got another time-consuming card next week. Like, little flurries like that are what bother me for Glover. Like, we've seen Glover, yeah, but then he gives up a cheap takedown. He's very weak off his back. This one's such a headache. This one's such a headache, guys. Jan is one of these guys that at times is showing me amazing takedown defense and at times is showing me terrible takedown defense. And then when he's on his back, he looks super weak. He immediately goes to the closed guard. He immediately goes to the closed guard and he's literally making no effort to get back up to his feet here. This is so tough. Every time I see Blachowicz give up a takedown like this, I want to bet Glover. But then at the same time, when Blachowicz is blitzing forward, winging big power punches, Gustafsson's got the striking defense, the movement, the footwork to kind of slip them and circle away. We know Glover doesn't. Glover's a sitting duck. So I will say this, man. I can't remember who said it. Someone said that Jan is a lock. I don't know how you can say Jan is... I think it was Brandon Phillip. I don't know how you can say Jan is a lock watching this. You know what I mean? With everything that we've seen in this stream, I don't know how you could think Jan would be a lock. He's definitely not a lock. I think this is one of those fights where both guys have got big weaknesses that the other can exploit. It might just be easier for Jan to exploit Glover's weaknesses because the fight starts standing. But both guys have got huge issues here. So let's get into round 2. So round 2 starts at 13 minutes and 29 seconds. That's 13 minutes, 29 seconds. Nice one, Mass Effect, mate. Yeah, are they making a Mass Effect 4 game? Or is Mass Effect 4 out? I thought it only went up to Mass Effect 3. Not too sure. Not too sure, man. Alright, let's get this next one going. Sync it up. Get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, let's go. Yeah, Hugo Boss is saying that this fight is kind of showing that when Blachowicz doesn't have his back against the cage, he's a lot easier to take down. I think you're right, Hugo Boss, man. Oh, okay, and Mass Effect Andromeda. Wow, look at that, guys. Look at that. Another weak takedown offense. My head is scrambled. I've got a headache. I've got a headache, boys. I've got a headache. I've got a headache, man. I don't know if anyone's still listening, but if you're watching this, you've got to understand how difficult this is. Like, literally. Like, if this fight took place the problem I'm having is if this fight was like a year ago, I would be all over Glover here. The problem is, it's not. It was 5 years ago, and Blachowicz could have improved a lot since this fight. The problem is, we don't have any evidence of it, really. All we've got to go off is the Rockhold fight. And, like, it is weird how a guy would improve in his late 30s. It's just a head. This fight is a head scratcher. I think I'm gonna have to give. I think I'm gonna have to give this one some thought. Man. This one's complicated. Like, both these guys are really flawed. Like, for as bad as Glover is in terms of striking defense, it's very possible Jan's equally as bad with takedown defense. So I don't know what to do, man. It's stressful. Headache. Yo, I do like fights like this. You know, like I say, for weeks we've had so many bad cards where it's just been pass, pass, pass. Now we're finally getting matchups, like juicy matchups for us to dive into and put some thought into. But fuck me, this is a tough one. This is tough. This one's really tough. Tough, man. And like, Blachowicz literally just spends the rest of this round doing absolutely nothing on his back. Let's sync up round 3, guys. I don't need to watch Blachowicz getting laid on for 3 minutes. Sync up round 3. Shout out to Hugo Boss as well for forcing us to watch this before the stream ends. I'm glad he did. Thanks a lot, Hugo Boss, mate. This is an eye-opener. So sync up round 3, guys. It starts at 19 minutes 43 seconds. That's 19 minutes 43. Let's go. Sync it up. Get it going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. The Hugo Boss said he's also worried that Jan catches Glover early. Man, this takedown defense is so bad. Like, hopefully, man, hopefully I'm vindicated here. I took so much shit from people online when I recommended they bet Luke Rockhold to beat Jan. So I took so much shit. Hopefully now you guys can see why. Because if you think about it, back in 2019, these are the fights that I would have been watching to come up with that bet on Rockhold. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have bet Rockhold based on these fights. Like, I'd be watching a fight like this and be like, there's no way Jan is going to be able to keep the fight standing against Rockhold. He hasn't got a chance. And obviously his takedown defense looked 10 times better. And that's why, you know, betting on MMA is tricky, right? You never know what version of a fighter you're going to get. But it is quite therapeutic to do research sessions like this, because obviously you get to see if you were right or wrong. And again, he just gives up a very weak takedown. What I will say about Jan in this round, though, is even in this third round, he still seems to be able to generate good power. Like, the reason why Gustafsson took him down at the beginning of this round was because he didn't like the pressure Jan was putting on him. Jan was loading up on big shots, so he shot the takedown to alleviate the pressure. Fuck me, man. Jan gives up these takedowns easily. I need to go think about this one, man. I'm not too sure if I'm going to bet this. I need to give it some thought. Alright, guys. Okay. Alright. I need to think about this one. I'm not sure. Not sure. Solar Cowboy saying it's possible the years ago Jan was more comfortable in close guard to get a sweep to ground and pound rather than try to fight for some type of half guard position to stand back up. It is weird how Jan just stays on his back, right? Weird Cowboy, mate. What's up, Ace the Goat? Right, boys, that's going to be it for this stream. I'm going to take a break now, and then I'm going to come back and I'll do the Uzdemir versus Ankalaev fight. So, because this stream's been so long, I'll put out another Telegram when I'm ready to go live on the next stream. So, join the Telegram group if you want to be notified of when I go live on Twitch and on my website. I'll drop the link in YouTube, so join that, and then you can just get notifications whenever I go live. But nice one, guys. I've got a headache now. I'm not too sure what to do about this fight. Glover's very, very tempting. So nice one, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care, and I'll see you all in a little while. I'll be back really soon. Nice one.